First of all, Happy New Year, Adoree. What's going on, buddy? BT and Sal, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year to you guys as well. How'd you guys bring in the New Year's? Was it good?
Yeah. Some fireworks, the little ones, some champagne. Yeah, what did you do? I have no responsibility at this point. I mean, you're a pro athlete. What did you do?
Nothing. I was just with the fam. They was able to come out, so got to hang out with them, ate at a little restaurant, and brought in the New Year with them. So that was pretty cool. Seen some of my teammates as well out when we were eating dinner. So it was a nice little evening, I would say.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, listen, we're talking contrasting the way the Jets and the Giants, you guys are playing here. I know you don't care about the Jets, but it's like you guys are fighting, and you guys are playing with purpose. And I know that was a tough loss the other day. A game, as you watch the tape, I'm sure you're saying, man, we should have absolutely won. But it says a lot to me, and it says a lot to us here, Adoree, that, for a season without a playoff berth, you guys are still emotionally and physically invested. It seems to you guys seem to still follow the lead from the coach, which is great.
Yeah, it's all about, really playing for each other. As you're saying, even though we're not in those contentions and the hopes that we want, at the end of the day, we're still able to, play the game that we love to play. And it's just all about your resume and what you want to put on tape, because at the end of the day, we all know that the team's not going to be the same next year. So, the ones that aren't, under contract again, trying to do whatever you can to get back on this team or somewhere else, and those who are still under contract, wanting to prove and show that, they don't need the draft or get anybody else, their spot. So at the end of the day, you're still battling, for each other, but at the same time for yourself as well, trying to prove yourself and just keep fighting and keep battling.
Adoree, I know we're a couple of weeks removed from it, but I was watching the game on Christmas Day, and I was thinking, now he has a pick six. We're not going to get a chance to talk to him this week because we're off. Your first ever pick six. Take us through how that felt on Christmas against Philadelphia.
Man, it's still, surreal to me, obviously, being my first one. But, I don't know, it was just one of those unreal feelings, It was one of those things where it just felt like everything was – it just lined up perfect. I didn't feel like I was running. Everything was moving in slow motion to me at that time. It might be cliche, but just felt like it wasn't me doing it. It's just like the Lord had took over in that aspect and let everything play out the way it played, because it still doesn't feel real, at this point when I still look back or if I see it or somebody brings it up. But it was a great feeling to have, a great moment to have, to do it on Christmas. And just to, just have that moment, not just for me, my teammates, and also my family, being able to reach out to me, see the game and talk about it and see how much joy, everybody around me felt for that moment was a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, I was happy for you too watching. I didn't realize it was the first pick six of your career. Did you keep the ball?
Yeah, I got the ball. So I got that. It's in the locker room, just chilling.
You better hope it stays there.
It's many more of those to come.
Yeah, you better hope it stays there.
Yeah.
I'm curious, when kids start playing football when they're young, now it's a lot of flag first couple of years. Back in the day, you'd be padding up at 8, you'd be doing the craziest drills. But now, head trauma, it's a different approach. Your first touchdown ever, even though you're a defensive player, when you were a kid, was it offense or defense?
My first touchdown was on offense. As a kid in Pop 1, I played for the Belleville Little Knights. I started out in 5th grade, my first time playing football, so 2010 was my first time actually playing. And, my first touchdown was on offense. I didn't even play defense until I got into high school, even went to USC to play receiver and then switched and did both ways.
Yeah.
So I really was like an offensive-minded guy. So this is a trip. I always thought being in the league, playing offense, doing different things. So to finally get my first touchdown, no better way than to have it on defense. It's cool being the villain, especially, going down in somebody else's territory and doing something like that and hearing the reaction of the crowd, the silence, the boos, and I don't know. It's just a cool feeling. So I wouldn't want it any other way. As much as I grew up dreaming I'll play offense, be in the league, the Lord still let me be in the league, and I end up scoring, but on defense. So it's just a different feeling when you do it on defense, because you don't really get the opportunity to do it as much. So it's just I think it's more memorable that way.
Yep, no, I got you. I would imagine so. We're talking to Adoree Jackson, the Giants, BT and Sal on the Fan. So you got one more game left. It's with Philly. Dallas wins. They win the division. You've seen Dallas twice. Who's the better team? Honestly, top to bottom. Do you think it's Dallas or Philly?
it's a tough question to answer, because some games when we play them, we end up losing to them. When we go down there, sometimes it might be lopsided. Sometimes it's a close game. That team is stout from top to bottom. Offensively, defensively, and they have great weapons on special teams. But I don't know. It's a tough one to ask. They both have a great defense. But if you go out in the later in the season or what's going on right now, you might lean towards Dallas. But, I don't want to take nothing away from the Philly at all.
Sure you do. Don't give them any credit, Philly. Who cares about Philly? Say whatever you got to say, whatever. Who cares about them?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't really care, but this is my honest opinion. Like, those are two, tough teams, and, two opponents. Now, at the end of the day, respect them, how they go out there and compete and battle. So, if I had to choose one, going down towards later the season, I would swing towards the Cowboys as being the better team.
Yeah, and likely now at least in the driver's seat as far as winning that division, which prior to last week would have been huge odds against. Philadelphia shockingly losing to Arizona. We're talking with Adoree Jackson. Adoree, I gave you the good with the pick six. Now I got to bring up the bad. What happened on that play with Puka Nacua?
Man, I was going for the ball again. I'm not going to lie to you. Once I got to him on the sideline, my instinct was trying to strip the ball out. So when I had my hand on the ball, it almost came loose. Shout out to him for Puka for being strong. Actually, shout out to Matt Stafford for throwing him away from me. When I went to break on the ball, was going to break on it, threw him away from me. So that was a smart bet move, probably knowing my leverage, seeing me jumping all the routes that I was jumping that day, threw him outside instead of inside. And then Puka being able to hold on to the ball once I got to the sideline, trying to strip it away. So that was just me just trying to make an aggressive play. I look back at it, I wish I would have got him out of bounds, pushed him out more instead of trying to go for the ball, obviously, because he went down to the sideline and we were in the coverage where no pursuit was going to be that way, being in blitz zero. But, it's just one of those things where I don't look back and say, obviously I'm mad at it and upset, but at the end of the day, trying to make a play and be aggressive to change the game, to change the outcome, of it. So I wouldn't take my aggressiveness away. But what I would have done is just wish I would have had him out of bounds, or pushed him out instead of, just securing the tackle and not just going straight for the ball.
Now, was that something afterward, Adoree? You go to the sideline and either Martindale or Coach Dable remind. I know you're a veteran. You made a mistake. You can't go back and change the play, otherwise you would. But is that something, a play of that magnitude, when you make a mistake like that, you go over to the sideline, you get chewed out by one of your coaches?
No, I don't think they. I know they didn't chew me out. But I'm not gonna sit here and just lie. But no, it's one of those things where they know and we know. I like that mindset better. Like, obviously, they know they can say something to me, and I'm gonna, be respectable and be coachable. But they can look at me and know, like, oh yeah, it's all right. And I came back and actually tried to punch the ball out when the tight end was on the ground. Didn't want to get up. Trying to have some awareness there. Got the ball out, but he was still close enough to get it, and we did what we had to do in rally, and that's what I like most about the team. We understand that things may not be perfect, and things may not, go our way all the time, but we got to keep snapping and keep going. And we could have just gave up after that, but we did and had a lot of fighting, and obviously we got to the opportunity where the game comes down to, the last second for us to win it. Obviously I want that play back. That's one what sticks out the most about me. I know they always say one play doesn't define anything, but for me, when I look at the magnitude of, how I play and we play as a defense, offense can make a bunch of bad plays, and, they can punt the ball on fourth down. Us on defensively, you can play 75 plays, 73 of them be good, and you have 2 or 1 bad plays, and that's really what sticks out, most of the time. But and other than that, you can just look at somebody, and it's different coaches for different players, and know, all right, let's just try to go and keep playing. And appreciate that with the coaches and, the players that we have. And just keep battling and going, because you never know what may happen throughout the course of the game.
Yep, taking ownership. Stand up response right there as we expected. That's what we think of. That's what we expect from Adoree. Adoree's been with us all year. And next year as well, Adoree Jackson here next week as well on The Fan. All right, you got to help me out with something. I sincerely need an answer. Not a theory. I need an answer. But I have to preface it with, because I don't want it to sound the wrong way. Like, I know everybody respects Tyrod Taylor. Everybody in that locker room should, and they around the league respects him. But everybody also says, Adoree, you just said it before about the tape. We all know tape don't lie. So why in the world, right, when there's basically 12 years, if not more, of film on Tyrod as a competent quarterback, why would the Giants not play Tommy DeVito this final week to get some more tape to make a decision for the future of the Giants? Why wouldn't DeVito start?
Let me see. Honestly, man, I couldn't tell you, why he wouldn't start. Obviously, I feel like both of them are deserving to be able to start in this league. Then I'll put on my veteran cap. Obviously, having a veteran out there poised, does the game is just different. There's no knock to anybody that plays the game. Obviously, it's going to be different from when DJ and Tyrod plays or DJ or DeVito. Doesn't matter. It just goes off experience and goes off the love of play and the comfortability. And it's a new era of football, but it's the same. And I feel like when Tyrod was playing, it's how old I am. Used with the Ray Lewises and the people that was coming out there blitzing, smashing, and doing it crazy. I just feel like it's more poised, and he knows the game and knows what's coming and can see things differently than maybe DeVito can. But it's no knock to DeVito in that aspect. And, getting those shots down the field that you see that Tyrod is throwing or comfortable with and doing different things like that. But that's my aspect of how I would see it, and knowing like everybody else may think, let the rookie go out there and spin and do some great things, which he can do. But I feel like sometimes when you make a decision, you got to stick with your decision. You don't want to backtrack. It was just like when they let DeVito spin after the bye week.
Yep.
He got to spin when people thought, Tyrod was coming back, whatever it may be. And that's just how, making decisions go. You never want to backtrack. You never want to go against your own grain. You got to stick with it and see it through. That's the only other aspect that I can see as well from those two points.
I got you. Well, listen, man, Happy New Year again. Finish up strong. Great job with the pick sixes, as we said before. And we'll talk to you next week to wrap up the season, hopefully after a win, all right?
Yes, sir. Talk to you all next week, and have a blessed one. Enjoy the day. The sun's out, so y'all try to enjoy it a little bit.
There you go. I mean, listen, this guy's got perspective, man. Thank you, Adoree. You got it, pal. It's a little cold out, but
freezing out. We're in a dark studio. I'm working till 6:30. Got to take the train home 2 hours. Yeah, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Squeeze into the suit. Squeeze into the suit.
Right. I'm 10 pounds over what I should be prior to vacation. I mean, think about it. Yeah.
And you're like me. Like you can't really tell, but like the weight, I think most men at this point, like the weight goes to one spot. Goes right to the love handles.
Oh, dude. It's all gut.
It's all goes.
Oh, God. I'm disgusted with myself.
I can't feel a little thick.
Yeah, enjoy life. It's great.
When you look like that, sure. Yeah. Nice to walk around with no shirt the rest of my life.